Here we are starting with the design of the circular tank example. The given data is the dia of the tank and the height of the tank. The height of this is an in-ground tank, so height of the soil outside the tank is 6 feet. The height of the water inside the tank is 16 feet. The dia of the tank is 90 feet. The groundwater table is slightly lower than the circular tank, but it's very closer to the base of the tank. Fluid density is 65, Fc prime is 4 ksi, Fy 60 ksi, and soil bearing capacity is 2400.
सर जो डाई है वो इनर डाई है या आउटर डाई है?
Inner dia. Thickness is to be assumed initially, and wall above the groundwater table should be designed using a lateral earth pressure equivalent to that developed by the fluid weighing 40 psi. The density of the saturated soil outside that pressure is given actually directly. The pressure is given as 40 pcf below the groundwater table, and below the groundwater table the density is used as the 90 pcf. Now you can start with this problem. The data is quite simple, that you need to design a tank for these dimensions, and it is an in-ground, partial in-ground water tank. So as I told you that first of all, the ring tension and the hoop tension is important. You will assume some thickness and you will see that whether the thickness is satisfied or not. And then you can also design the reinforcement. First of all, the ring reinforcement needed. And then you have the area of steel also, the tensile force also, and you can directly apply the limiting stress formula, and you can check that your limiting stress that is developed in the circular tank is larger or smaller than the allowable limiting stress. So first of all, you can assume a wall thickness here initially for that is equal to the 12-inch. Here you can see in the first step the wall thickness is assumed as the 12 inches, and after that you can compute the value of this WU, which is a factor for computing the load. As I told you that the different factors will be applied. One is the durability factor and the sanitary coefficients and the live load factor. So here you can see this factor is applied. This factor is a sanitary coefficient, and another factor is applied. Durability factor, sanitary coefficient, and live load factor, both are applied as 1.65 and 1.7, and then comes the total load, that 65 is the density. So load that was at the bottom of the tank, it became as 183 pound per cubic feet is the total load. As I told you that when you will compute the forces, the load that is acting at the bottom, WH, is basically the maximum ordinate of the UVL, and this maximum ordinate is of the UVL is computed as 183. Now height is given, radius is given. You can compute the h square over dt, because these are the requirements for the watching the tables for the coefficients. So you will see what is the h square over dt. So compute the value of the h square over dt. That comes out to be 2.844, but as the coefficients are very closer, so rather you can make it some round it up. So the value available in the tables is for 3, not for 2.8. After the value is for 2 and then 3. So you can you can make it like 3. Then you have now
सर हमेशा राउंड
x
अप
square
करेंगे सर, राउंड अप सेफ साइड पे होगा
which is on the safer side, आप उस तरफ ले जाएंगे ना
सर, तो राउंड अप करना सेफर साइड पे होगा।
जिसके क्लोजर है उसके करीब आप ले जाते हैं। डेफिनेटली आपकी जो ज्यादा वैल्यूज आ रही हैं तो उसमें कोएफिशिएंट नीचे बढ़ रहे हैं, आप देख सकते हैं। So then you will go to the table A1 and table A5, and for all the values of the depth, you will go to this table for all the values starting with the 0 to the 1h, 0.9h. The value is 3. So for the 3, you can see all the values for the 3 now. These values are here. 0.134 at 0h, at 0.5h it is 0.362, and similarly 0.052. So you see that all values are positive, but where is the maximum hoop tension? At which depth the maximum hoop tension is developed? Half of h, 0.362
Yes, sir.
is the maximum coefficient. So that is, you can see at half of h, 0.362. But as I told you that you should go for the conservative design. So when the bottom end is fixed, that is a table A1. But when the bottom edge is fixed, you have also to see the cases when the bottom edge is not fixed and it is hinged. So next one, you will again compute this hoop tension against the second case, and that case is bottom and hinge. Again, you have to compute this for this case also. So now again see the coefficients from the table A5. These tables coefficients are 0.074, 0.449, 0.506. So put down in this one here, all these coefficients are written. Now you will pick the larger coefficient. For example, at 0 depth, this A1 is giving the table A1 is giving the larger coefficient, but at the middle depth, the table A5 is giving the larger coefficient. Most of the time, the table A5 is the case when the bottom end is hinged, so it is developing the larger hoop tension. So that's why this is giving the larger value of the coefficient. Now you have all the coefficients, and pick the larger coefficients, and you know the hoop tension is how much? Hoop tension is equal to the coefficient into WU into H into R, as it is also written on here. Hoop tension is coefficient into WH into R. So you will write down the same expressions and compute the hoop tension. Because the load is in pound per cubic feet, so the answers of the tension will also be in the pounds. So hoop tension is computed. Now you know that if you want to compute the stress in the area of steel due to this hoop tension at every location, of course the hoop tension is smaller at the top, then maximum in the middle, again the lesser at the bottom. But you can divide your circular tank wall. This hoop tension is giving the circular reinforcement. So you can actually divide your segment into 3 parts, because the tension is computed, the area of steel is computed from the tension, and that is equal to Tg over 0.9 Fy. So that gives you the reinforcement at different depth. But for the economy, you can divide this tank into the 3 segments. Top segment is up till 0.375 H. The middle segment is up till 0.8 H. The bottom segment is H, 0.82 H. And you will pick the value, the maximum value. Let's like the first segment is up till 6 feet. So up till this value, you can pick the maximum value is maybe larger than 0.92. But when you go for the steel provision, you have to round the spacing, round it on the downside. So the steel area provided will be slightly larger. So you select the steel area for the first case. Then you pick the second segment, larger value is 1.27, and provide the reinforcement at number 6 at 8 inch. Similarly, the last segment, the larger value is 0.92, and you go for this number 6 at 10 inches. So these are the circular ring steel. And this area of steel is not giving us the steel on the one side, but actually on 2 sides, because the tension acting is along the area. So this steel is also have to be provided not on the one side, but on both sides of the faces. So you will make it half and then compute the spacing. First make the steel half and then compute the spacing, and this will give you the design of the hoop tension. Now you will check that whether the tension that steel that you have provided is and the thickness that we have assumed at the start as 12 inches, whether the same is fine for the whether the thickness is safe or not, and the tensile stress that is developed in the concrete is well below the 10% of compressive strength or not. So for that, you will apply the same thickness expression that I have explained in the handout, that the thickness can be computed by this expressions, and you can compute this FCT limiting strain from this formula. And now this one can be used here. You go to this one, the shrinkage strain is C here. AG is basically the area of the AC, actually 12-inch thickness and 12-inch. We are considering for the effective cross section as 12 by 12 inch for the unit width. AS, you have computed the maximum AS provided is 1.32, and EC is 57,000 FC prime in FPS system of units. ES is also given. Modular ratio is computed. Now I told you that the
Sir, what
thickness
is AG, sir? Sir,
A,
AG क्या है sir? AG,
AG
sir.
is the area concrete effective area, because 12 inch is the thickness and 12 inch is the height. While we were, this is the AG, is this part basically. We are taking thickness as 12 inch and height also considered as the 12 inch, because we are designing in FPS system, so height is considered as 1 foot, not 1 meter. So here you can see that the tensile force is basically what is the tensile force that is to be considered as a working load, not the ultimate load. But already the tensile force computed here above in this table, the TU computed is a factored one. So this was maximum 68,384. You consider the maximum force, but divide it with the factors. Why? Because we have to consider the working load, not the ultimate load. So T divided by the factors which were used, 1.65 and 1.7, you take it back and make the working load as 24 kips. So working load are all the parameters are the working stress parameter, and now put down the values of these in that formula of C ESAS plus T, the same formula that is written here, this one, the last one formula on this slide, and you can put down the values to find out the limiting tensile strain in the concrete. So it comes out to be 233 psi, whereas our limiting strain is 400, because 10% of FC prime is given as 4,000, so 10% of FC prime is 400, but the actual computed strain is lesser than that, so it is fine, it should be less than that. It can be up till 10% of FC prime, but it is now 5.8%, so it means that we are safe with this thickness. The tank thickness assumed is satisfied, and no need to change the thickness. You need to change the thickness otherwise, in case your stress here computed in this equation comes the larger than the 10% of FC prime. Now you will apply
Sir,
the
can you
another,
kindly repeat, sir? अगर ये ratio 10% से ज़्यादा आ जाए तो फिर क्या करना है?
then you will revise the thickness of the tank.
Okay, sir.
Now the next part is that you have to compute the compressive stresses from the outside. The sile load is also acting. So the sile load will develop the compressive force from the outside, and you can see the coefficients also for the compressive force in the similar way. The vertical coefficients are seen from the table A1 and table A5. So WU, for the compressive force, the factors are different, 1.3 and 1.7. H is outside the sile load is up to 6 feet, and it was told that take the sile load as 90 psf. The sile load was told as the 90 psf it is to be taken. So now the different at different depths you will go to the table A1 and A5. For finding the at HK over dt is 0.4. So these coefficients are taken. 0.474, 0.05, these coefficients for Psi load is also taken, but psi load is actually similar, not similar like water, but it is developing the compression actually. The water load is giving the hoop tension, the soil is giving the hoop compression along the circumference. So you will pick all these coefficients for the soil load, and again from the both the tables, the larger coefficient is obtained of course from the hinge case, the table A5. For conservative design, we also follow the A5 table. So larger coefficient is selected, and compressive force formula is also similar like the TU. So coefficient into WU into H into R, you get the maximum compressive force. Why we are determining the maximum compressive force? Because the steel was already designed by the hoop tension. So what will be the effect of compressive force? We just want to check that whether the compressive force, maximum compressive force that is developed is actually larger or lesser than the capacity of the compression capacity of the concrete. So you know that there is a certain axial capacity of the concrete, bearing capacity of the concrete in compression, and that bearing capacity should be larger than the maximum compressive force. Now how to compute the bearing capacity of the concrete? That the topic we studied in the columns and the footings also, that the bearing capacity of the concrete is phi. Two factors were used. One was the 0.65 or 0.55 into phi into Fc prime into Ag. So this is computed here. 0.55 into 0.75 Fc prime into Ag, the area of the effective concrete. So this comes out to be 237,600 pound, and it's much larger than the our maximum compressive force. None of the compressive force is very closer to that. So it means that the compressive of the compression, in compression the concrete is much stiffer, and the soil load is not making any extra stresses that we need to change the thickness of the concrete. So this was the second solution of for the soil loading. Now I have told you in the today lecture that there is quite larger, definitely uh, due to the vertical loading and the larger depth of the tank, the vertical flexure stresses are developed, and these stresses are basically uh, for different cases, for fixed sliding edge, or for the fixed base, or for the hinge base. So now the in given conditions are the fixed base. So you have to see the flexural coefficients, the shear and the moment actually, and this is the design in the vertical direction. How to design the tank in the vertical direction. So everything remains same, thus the coefficients will change 1.3 and 1.7. The load is there. Height is now 16 feet because water load is 16 feet, and radius is the also equal to So in this design of the moment and the shear, you can see that all the values are given, and we can compute the h square over dt. Coefficient is also seen from the tables. This coefficient is now for the flexure case. So go to the tables, and for the bottom and fix, movement is to be seen, movement coefficient. So for h square over dt value, go to the, for computing the moment, the formula will be coefficient into WH cube. This is understood. This is a UVL. So for UVL, the formula will WH cube. You know that the load ordinate is WH, height is H, so WH into H, and the moment arm is H over something. So that it means that the formula for the UVL is WH cube. Whereas the formula for the moments in the for UDL is WPH square. So this is quite clear that why it is cube and square. And now you can see the coefficients at all depth. You see that the positive coefficients are seen up till 0.8h and negative coefficients are seen after 0.8h. It means that the moment produced by the water is giving the tension on the outer side. When the moment is coefficient is negative, it means that the tension is produced on the water side, and when the bending moment coefficients are positive, it means that the tension is produced opposite to the water side. The reason is this is similar like the cantilever beam concept. When the load its tension is on the loading side, then the bending moment is negative, the tension is at the top. So similarly, if the bending moment is negative, the tension is on the loading side, water side, and when the bending moment is positive, the tension is on the soil side, mean outer side, due to the water load. We have to investigate one load at a time. So due to the water load, the tension is produced only in the bottom zone to the water side and in the other zone to the soil side. So this will give you the tension at the different points and movement also. So bottom 2 points, this will give the reinforcement on the water side, and other points give the reinforcement on the opposite to the water side. The vertical steel is computed. You will provide the reinforcement by the similar way. You will see the thickness of the tank is satisfied, and you will decide the dia of the bar and the area of steel, and you can compute the thickness. No need to do like that. You can directly compute the rho value from the moment, and against the rho and the R value, you can compute the area of steel required. Then comes the next part of the design, and that is the shear check. As I have told you that you can also find out the shear coefficient values at the bottom of the tank, and these are the shear coefficients values can be seen from this table number A12. You have this a square over dt value, any value, and whatever is the value, you can pick this coefficient for the fixed base. Our as a triangular load and a fixed base, so we can determine the wall shear by this coefficient into WU into H square. So that comes out to be the shear from the A12 number table, and our capacity, shear capacity, is also seen that shear capacity should be larger than the shear. So shear force for the FPS system is 2 phi FC prime BD. So this value is checked, and it comes out to be quite larger than the shear force is 8,000, and it is about 11,000. So it's fine. So in this way, the shear thickness of the tank is also checked. Vertical steel is also designed. And if you want to design the circular base slab of the tank, you have to go to the table, next table, that is given for the table number A14, and you can compute the force, the table from the coefficients, whatever is the at which radius, what is the coefficient, and p r square. P is the UDL ordinate and r is the radius. You can compute the moment in the circumferential directions, and you can provide the reinforcement in both the sides. So in this way, the design of the slab, circular slab, can also be carried out. So in this problem, I am just repeating all the steps. We started with the computing given data, then assuming the thickness, and then computing the load in the vertical directions, total load acting on the bottom base of the tank, and compute the hoop tension by the two tables. The maximum hoop tensions, we compute the reinforcement by dividing the total depth in 3 segments and compute the area of steel. From the maximum area of steel and maximum tensile force, we check the tension. So the maximum
Sir, can
stress
you
in
repeat the reinforcement?
the reinforcement is designed by Tu over Fy, the tensile force
Sir,
divided
how
by the
provided sir? Sir, 1.17 कैसे आई है सर ये इस तरह बता दें?
Tu over 0.9 Fy किया है ना, फिर आपने half जो है वो it is provided on one face and half is provided on the other face. The reinforcement is 50% provided on both sides of the tank, and then you can go for the like
सर
1.17 है तो इसको 2 से डिवाइड कर दें और एरिया 1 बार आपको पता है नंबर 6 हम यूज कर रहे हैं तो एरिया 1 बार डिवाइडेड बाय द एरिया ऑफ स्टील मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 12, उससे स्पेसिंग आ जाएगी। और उसके बाद आपने जो स्टील एरिया हमने प्रोवाइड किया है वो थोड़ा सा लार्जर है आया है क्योंकि हमने स्पेसिंग को डेफिनेटली राउंड अप किया है, राउंड डाउन किया है। तो उसके बाद हमने इसको सारी वैल्यूज पुट करके स्टील लिमिटिंग स्ट्रेस निकाला है और इट शुड बी लेसर देन द 10% ऑफ द स्ट्रेस ऑफ द कंक्रीट, सो इट वाज फाइन। देन वी चेक फॉर द कंप्रेशन इफेक्ट, साइल की वजह से जो कंप्रेशन में आया हुप उसके लिए हमने बेरिंग चेक की है कंक्रीट की, दैट वाज सेटिस्फाइड। नेक्स्ट स्टेप आता है कि फ्लेक्सुअल डिज़ाइन, फ्लेक्सुअल के लिए हमने मूवमेंट्स निकाले हैं और मूवमेंट के अगेंस्ट फिर रेनफोर्समेंट, ये वर्टिकल आएगा स्टील इसके अगेंस्ट। आई विल शो यू सम स्केच फॉर द रेनफोर्समेंट डिटेलिंग। तो वर्टिकल जो स्टील आएगा वो नेगेटिव मूवमेंट जो देगा वो वाटर साइड का रेनफोर्समेंट देगा और पॉजिटिव जो होगा वो साइल साइड पे देगा, अवे फ्रॉम द वाटर साइड देगा। और उसके बाद हमने शीयर चेक लगाया है और सर्कुलर बेस स्लैब का मैंने आपको बताया है। सो इन दिस वे वी आल्सो कंप्लीट दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द सर्कुलर टैंक। सो if you have any questions regarding the problem of the tank, you can ask. It was really interesting and it's not difficult because just you have to understand the concept of the tank, that what is the hoop tension, what is the flexure tension, what is the effect of the bottom boundary conditions, and what are the critical loading effect, and then you are able to compute the forces and design of the tank. So if you have any questions you can ask.